If you know that you want to use Elementor to build your website, but you aren't sure how to get started, then this video is for you. Elementor lets you create beautiful and professional WordPress websites in the quickest and easiest way possible with no coding or technical expertise required. In this video, I'll show you how Elementor works, walk you through the differences between the pro and the free versions, and give you an easy step-by-step tutorial on the basics so you can get started building your website right away. Let's get started. Before I start building, I want to clarify a little bit on exactly what Elementor is and how it works with WordPress, because it's important that you understand that. Elementor is a page builder plugin that includes a drag and drop editor that you use to build and design your WordPress website. At the time of me filming this video, it is the most popular page builder plugin on WordPress.org. It replaces the WordPress editor with a live front-end editor that lets you see your site as you're building it. The user interface is super intuitive and beginner-friendly. You don't need to know any coding. You don't need to know any CSS or HTML to build your website. I am a professional website designer and I put Elementor on almost all of my client websites because sometimes my clients do want to make changes on their site without me, and Elementor makes it really, really easy for them to do that. There is a free version of Elementor, and there is also a paid Elementor Pro version, which includes more features. I use Elementor Pro, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the differences between the free version of Elementor and the paid version of Elementor and why I think you should use Elementor Pro also. If you click the link in my description, you're going to come to a page that looks like this, that shows the different pricing options for Elementor Pro. Now, with the free version of Elementor, you get access to the drag and drop page builder and basic widgets and styling and design options. In general, the free version of Elementor is fine if you just want to style some basic pages and posts. But if you want to use Elementor to build your whole website, you really want the pro version. Elementor Pro gives you a lot more features and flexibility that I think you're going to find very helpful, especially if you're not a professional web designer and you're just a business owner building a website for your small business. It's going to make your work faster and easier, and I know if you are a business owner, fast and easy sounds really good. So if we scroll down here, we can see the different features in each of the plans. Now, if you just have one website, you're kind of only looking at Essential and Advanced Solo. Both of these include more pro widgets that are going to give you more features as you're building your pages, basically. Advanced Solo has more pro widgets, and most of them are for e-commerce stuff. So if you have an e-commerce website and you're using WooCommerce, I really, really suggest getting the Advanced Solo plan. The Advanced Solo plan also includes a pop-up builder, which is very cool, and I have a tutorial that I recorded for that already that I will link in the description below. Both of these plans allow you to customize every part of your website with the theme builder. That means headers, footers, post templates, archive templates, and other theme parts. They also include a form builder and dynamic content, which I will go over a little later in this tutorial. And there's also other advanced customization options available to you. So let me show you how to get this set up and installed. So if you've decided to go with Elementor Pro, go ahead and click Buy Now under whichever these plans you think is going to fit best for you. Fill in your information here and check out. And then when you are all done with that, you want to sign into your Elementor account and then click this little icon up here to download the pro version of the plugin. And then click one more time on the one that says Elementor Pro. And then it should show up in your downloads, and we're going to come back to that later. Now, before we get started on your site, it is important that you have hosting purchased and WordPress installed on your hosting. My favorite host is Cloudways, and I have a tutorial showing you how to sign up for Cloudways and create a WordPress application on it. and it is linked in the description below if you would like help with that. After that's done, go ahead and log into your WordPress dashboard. And the first thing that we are going to do here is install a theme that's made by the same people that make the Elementor plugin called the Elementor Hello theme. Now remember, you always need a theme for your WordPress website, and whatever page builder plugin you use, it does not take the place of your theme and you still need one. I'm picking this theme for this tutorial because it is made by the same people that make the Elementor page builder plugin, so it works really well and really easy with it. It's specifically made very lightweight so Elementor can just take care of everything. So to get that installed, hover over Appearance and then click on Themes, and then click Add New Theme on the top here. You might see that the Hello theme is right here once you click Add a New Theme. But if it's not, just go ahead and search for Hello Elementor in the top right search bar. When you do see it, you can hover over it and then click Install. And then when that is done, you can click Activate. After that is done, it is prompting you to install Elementor, so you can go ahead and click that button to install it there, or you can go to Plugins, Add New Plugin, search for Elementor here, and then when you see this, you're going to want to click Install again, let that install, and then click Activate when it's done. Now, this is the free version of Elementor that we are activating. If you decided not to buy the pro version of Elementor, you're done with this part and Elementor is already installed. If you did get the pro version of Elementor, you do still need the free version installed. So this is good. Still do this part. But then when this is done, go ahead and click Add New Plugin in the top left-ish corner. And then you're going to click this Upload Plugin button. And then you can drag in the plugin wherever your browser puts its downloads, and then click Install Now. And then click Activate Plugin. And then after you activate the plugin, you probably have a link down here that says Connect and Activate. This is where we have to connect it to our Elementor account so we can put in our license code and the website, everybody knows it's legit. If you are already signed into Elementor on your browser, something should come up that looks like this. If not, it'll probably ask you to sign in, and then you can just click Activate My License. Next, I just very quickly want to make some sample pages for this tutorial so we have something to work with. So first of all, you definitely need to make a home page. So click Add New Page, call this Home, and then click Publish. And then click Publish again. And then we can click the WordPress icon to go back. And then let's make another couple of pages just so we have stuff here. I'm calling this About, Publish, Publish. And when that is done, we are going to go back to WordPress. And then I'll just do one that says Services, publish that. And then when that's done, we'll go back to WordPress. And then I will make one more called Contact for us. And then publish that one. And then head back to WordPress. Let's go ahead and set this page that we made home for our home page. So you can go to Settings and then you can go to Reading. And then for reading settings, your home page displays, we want it to be a static page. And then we are going to select Home here and then click Save Changes. Let's also get a navigation menu set up so we can go to Appearance, Menus. And then let's go ahead and select the header menu right here and then click Select. And we're going to view all the pages. I'm going to select all of them. We're not going to include the privacy policy in the header. And then I'm going to click Add to Menu. And then I'm going to click Save Menu. Okay, now we have everything set up and we can start the fun part. I'm going to show you how to work with the Elementor editor and how you can build your site from scratch. But I also want to show you that if you have Elementor Pro, you have the option of starting your site with a pre-built design and then editing it after that. So I'm going to show you how to do that. And then afterwards, I'm going to show you how to just build pages with the editor. So if you have the free version of Elementor, you know how to use it that way. And if you're using one of the kit templates, you can modify that and edit that as well. So if you have Elementor Pro and you wanted to start off with a pre-made design, you would hover over templates under Elementor, and then you would go to kit library. And then from here, you would just pick any of these, view the demo, and then if you like it, you could just click apply kit in the top right. But I'm going to go ahead and go back to library, and then I'm going to close out of this on the top right. And then I'm going to click pages in the left-hand menu. And then for home page, I am going to click edit. And then when you do that, you are going to see the default WordPress editor, but we want to work with Elementor. So we are going to click this edit with Elementor button up top. We are going to let this load. And then this is what your website looks like right now, which isn't super impressive, but we are going to fix that. Now, before we start working with all this stuff over here to the left, all your widgets and all your settings, I want to show you the page settings. To get to those, you're going to click this little gear icon up top. When you hover over it, it says page settings. And then from here, you can change your page settings. Some notable things here, you can change the title of your page. You could change the page layout. Now, our options here are default, Elementor Canvas, and Elementor Full Width, and theme. Now, Elementor Full Width is going to just have your page with your header and your footer. And this is the one that we want, but let me show you, if you didn't want, like if you were making a landing page and you didn't want your header and footer, you could do Elementor Canvas for your page layout, and then it would be completely blank. But like I said, let's go back to page settings, and we are going to do Elementor Full Width here. If you wanted to change the background color of your page, you would also do that here under the Style tab. Now, you might not have this Yoast SEO tab. This is from my SEO plugin, so you can just ignore that. Don't worry about that. Now, let's go back to the widgets by clicking this plus sign on the top right that says Add Element. And let's start designing this page. Your Elementor page has the ability to be structured in two different ways. We can use containers and containers inside of containers, or we can use sections and columns. Sections and columns are the old grid system where you make a section, put some columns in it, and then put some widgets in those columns. So to do it that way, you can click this plus sign here, choose a structure, we'll just pick this one. If you look at your structure window right here, by the way, if you don't see this, you can get to it by clicking this icon right here. You can see that we have a section and then we have two columns in the section. And right now, each of those columns is empty. But then you can click this plus sign to go back to add element, drag in one of these widgets, and then you could just continue building your page by dragging in different widgets in the different columns. And now you can see here we have the section, and then we have the columns, and then we have the widgets in those columns. But this is the old way of doing things. So I'm not going to do the tutorial this way. I just want to show you this way so you know if you choose to do it this way. But eventually we will evolve into the containers. So to design your site with containers, we're going to go ahead and close out of this and then click publish in the top right. Let's go ahead and go back to WordPress by clicking the Elementor icon in the top left and then going exit to WordPress. And then we are going to go to Elementor, and then we are going to go to settings. Then we are going to click the features tab, and then we are going to scroll down and go to where it says container, and we're going to click active. and then we're going to click Save Changes. And then let's go back to the home page. And then we're going to, now that we edited the home with Elementor the first time, now when we hover over it, we have the Edit with Elementor button. So we can click directly there to go back to the Elementor page builder. Now, why are we moving towards containers? Because they are better specifically for flexibility and specifically for responsiveness. You're going to have a lot more control about how things are positioned on the pages for different devices. And I'm going to talk more about responsiveness and how to design the pages for the different devices later on in this tutorial. And also, if you want to go more into containers and how that works, I do have a tutorial that I did all about Elementor containers, and I will link that below. Containers are really just boxes, basically, and then you can put containers in containers and then position them, and then you put those widgets in those containers, and the widgets are how you create your content. So to work with containers, you can just click the plus sign here to add a new container, and then go ahead and choose Flexbox. And then you can choose a structure for your Flexbox, which is an already made structure where you've got containers in your container, or you can choose if you just want the containers to go down or to the right. I'm going to go ahead and choose the structure. Now let's get some widgets in there. So go ahead and click the plus sign in the top left that says Add Element. And here we have layout widgets, basic widgets. If you have Elementor Pro, you have these Pro widgets also. And I believe the basic free version of Elementor has these general widgets as well. So let's go ahead and get some of these widgets on our page. And we can start off by throwing in a headline. And then we can go back and throw in our text editor. And then let's put an image in the right column. And then how about we put a button right here? Okay, so now we've got all this stuff on the page. Let's go back to the structure window. So I can show you how things are laid out. We've got this main container, and then in that main container, we have two more containers. And then in each of those containers, we have other widgets. And this window here is super useful because not only can you select each thing that you want to work on or that you want to edit over here, but you can also move them around if you need to. So like if you drag in a widget and it doesn't go where you want it to be and you want to move it around, this is how you would do it. You can just drop and drag and rearrange things. So now when you are editing widgets, you usually have three things up here: content, style, and advanced. And in the content tab, you are going to be able to edit the content of the widget. So for the headline widget, it's where you can put the text. So you can type the text here, though keep in mind, you can also type directly in the editor, in the page builder here. If you just double click, you can get in there and you can write more stuff. And then you're going to have other content options that are relative to that widget. So for the headline widget, we have stuff that is relevant to the headline. We have the title text and we have the link and we have which HTML tag it is. But then if we select the image, and you can select that either by clicking image in the structure panel or by hovering over the image and then clicking the pencil icon, you're going to see that you have image relevant content options here. So first of all, you can choose the image by clicking here and either picking something that's in your media library already or dragging in a new photo. And actually, let me show you how to do that real quick. All you have to do here is drag in an image file. And then after that loads, you would just click the select button on the bottom right, and there is your image. And then to edit the styles of the widget, we're going to want to go into the Style tab. And again, these are going to be style options that are relevant to that widget. So we can change the alignment here if you want it left aligned, centered aligned, right aligned. You can change the width and the height. You can change the opacity if you want to change the transparency. We can make it half transparent here, and then we can add a hover that makes it all the way visible. So then when you mouse over it, it becomes fully visible. But these are image relevant styles. So when you go into the button, for example, and then you go into the Style tab, you are going to have button relevant styles. Like you can change the position of the button. You can change the text color and the background color of the button. You can give the button some rounded corners by changing the border radius. All button relevant styles. And actually, now that we're here, it's important that you know how to do a link. So if you go into content, you're going to see this link section here. And what you can do here is you can start typing the title of a page you already made, and then you can just select that page to make that link. And then you're going to also probably want to change the text of the button as well. And then all of these widgets have an advanced tab also. And this is almost the same for all of these widgets. This is where you can change the margin and the padding, the width. This is where you can add motion effects if you'd like, where you can add a background or a border to the widget along with a bunch of other options here. Now, say you have this About Me button perfect and you love it and you know that you're going to use it all over in different parts of the website. So you do have the option to make a what's called a global widget here. So to do that, hover over the widget, right click on that pencil icon, and then go to Save as Global. We're just going to call this the About button, and then we'll click Save. And then this About button is going to be under globals. So when you go to add an element, widgets is selected. But if you click the globals tab, there's that About button. And then you can drag that in wherever you'd like. When you do that, you are going to see that you have an option to edit the global widget. And when you edit the global widget, it is going to change the widgets throughout the site. So you see how I edited that widget up top, and the bottom widget also changed. This is super useful if you want to keep consistency throughout your website. You can also change your container settings just like you change your widget settings by selecting the container. And then over here you have options again, except we have a layout option instead of a content option. And in here we have layout settings, like we have width, height, and how we distribute the items in that container. Again, if you need help with that, check my container tutorial that is linked below. And we also have style settings, and we also have advanced settings. Before we move on from here, I want to talk about a special widget and its settings, and that is the form widget. Now, the form is only available with Elementor Pro, but if you did get the Pro version of Elementor, here's how you would add the form. We're going to search for form over here in the left, and then when you see that widget, you're going to take it and you're going to drag it over to the page. And if you wanted to edit these fields that are here, you could click into them and edit them. You could change the type of field it is. You could change the label, which is the words on the top. So we can have this say first name. And you can change the placeholder, which is the words in the actual field. So we can have this say name here. And you can also change the width of the field to show how big the columns are. So if you wanted to do 2 columns here, you could do 50% for that. And then for email, you could do 50% for that, and they will automatically be next to each other. If you wanted to duplicate any of these fields, you can just click this button right here. And if you wanted to add a new field, you would just click Add Item, and then choose the type of field you want it to be. Like we can make this a telephone and then put this as phone and then put the placeholder as phone. And then we can drag the fields around to reorganize them on the form. After somebody fills out this form, Elementor does save the submissions, and you can see them in your dashboard under Elementor submissions. But you probably also want those form submissions emailed to you. So to do that, you would go down to actions after submit and make sure email is chosen here, which it should be by default. But if it's not, you can click the plus sign and choose email. And then you would want to click email here. And then you want to make sure in this to box here, this is your email address. And this is what's going to be the subject. This is where the fields are going to come in the message. This is going to be what the message that gets sent to you is. And then for from email, you want this to include the name of your actual domain name usually, so it gets sent to you without any issues. So you can just do something that's like email@domainname.com. It doesn't matter if it's a real email because you're not going to be replying to it. Next, you can put in who you want it to say that the form is from. And then for the reply to, you probably want to set it for the email field. So that way, when you get this email and then you reply to it, you're replying to the customer that filled out the form. So that's it for the basics on the Elementor editor. Now, let me quickly show you up on the top right. If you want to publish the page and you're good with it and you want it live, you can click publish. But we also have some other options here. You can click this drop down here and you can click save as draft. So that will just save the page as a draft, but not publish it. And you can also click this eye icon up here to preview the changes. And then that will open up the page in a new tab so you can see how the page actually looks live. But we are all done here and ready for this page to actually go live. So we are going to click the publish button. Next, I want to go over the site settings. So go ahead and find this icon on the top left that says site settings when you hover over it and click that. Now, this is where you find the settings for the site. The coolest thing here, I think, are the global fonts and the global colors. And I actually did a video going more in depth into this, but you can set the fonts and the colors for the website and then easily choose them as you're building the site. So for example, we can go into global colors. And then for this primary color, we can take this and I'm just going to make it a random purple. And then we can hit save changes. And then we can go into global fonts. And we can go ahead and click here to add style to add a custom font. And I'm just going to pick something random. That looks like we'll be able to see it. And then I'm going to click Save Changes. And then when you close out of here, we can click back to Editor. We can actually get to those fonts and colors really easy. So we can use them throughout the site as we're building, and we don't have to like make sure that we're getting the right color and it's matching exactly or copying the hex code over and over. We can just select the thing we want to change, go to style, click this little icon that kind of looks like a globe next to text color. And then we're going to choose that primary color, and it's going to be that purple we picked in global colors. We can also go ahead and click the same globe icon next to typography and then choose that font we picked. And there we go. That makes building the site way easier and is going to save you a lot of time. And again, if you guys want to dive more into the global styles, I've got a video for this linked in the description. Now let's head back to the site settings. And let me just quickly go through everything else here. We have this theme style section is going to be where you can style the default styles for those elements on the theme. Like for example, we went into buttons right here and we can go ahead and make the background color of all the buttons that primary color, and it's going to update on all the buttons that have the default style chosen on the site. This is also a great way to make things easier, more efficient, and to keep things consistent. And then we've got these additional settings like the site identity where you can change your logo and your fave icon. The fave icon is the little icon on the browser window that's next to your website name. And then if we go back, we also have the background where you can put a default background throughout your site. We have this layout link, which gives different settings for the layout of the site. If we go back, we can get to this light box setting, which shows the image light box settings. This means when you click an image and it has the option for it to come out in a light box, these are the options that change those settings. Let's go back again. And now you have page transitions. And you can do an entrance animation for your page here. I really wouldn't suggest doing this. It will probably just take up more performance and possibly annoy your users. But if you don't want to listen to me, you can do that here. And then we can go back. And if you have Elementor Pro, you'll have an option for custom CSS. And this is fine. You can put the CSS here. Personally, I prefer to put it somewhere else, which I'll show you in a second. And then we have additional settings, which will bring you back to the admin area of your WordPress and the additional Elementor settings here. Now, if you made any changes here for the site settings, don't forget to click Save Changes. But let's go ahead and hop back to this tab because I do want to show you very quickly where I do put custom CSS if I do it. Now, I know I said this tutorial is no code, and I do mean that, but if you do ever want to put custom CSS code on your site, I would suggest doing it in Appearance, Customize, and in the additional CSS section here. Now let's close out of this and we're going to talk about templates and the theme builder. First, let's talk about templates. You can find your templates by clicking templates under Elementor in this left side menu. And then after you do that, you're going to come to this page, which is where your templates are. So templates are pre-designed layout or blocks that you can use to quickly build pages or parts of pages. Let's head back to the home page real quick so I can show you how to make one. So we're going to go to pages and then on home, we're going to click edit with Elementor. And we can make this section right here a template by selecting it and right clicking and going to save as template. And we'll just call this about section and then hit save. And then close out of this. And now when you are on any page and you want to make this template added to the page, you just click this add template icon and then click the insert button next to that template. And then you can choose if you want to apply the settings of the container. Also, I'm going to click don't apply. And there you go. Now you have that template section that you can use over and over again. You can also save this entire page as a template. So click the arrow in the top right and then go to save as template. And we can call this home page. And then we're going to click save. And then we're going to close out of this. And then we can publish this page. And then we can head back to the WordPress backend. And now we can go into the About page. We'll edit that. And then we can click Edit with Elementor. And then we can click that template icon again. And then we can go to Templates. And then from here, we would find Home Page, which is a page template. And we'd click Insert. And we can say, do we want to apply the settings of this page too? I'm going to click Apply. Now you can see that this is exactly like the home page that we saved. So let's go ahead and click Publish. And then we can go ahead and go back to the WordPress dashboard. And then if you go to templates under Elementor, again, we are going to see those two new templates we made in addition to the global widget about button. Now let's talk about the theme builder. So this is a pro feature, and to get to the theme builder, you are going to click theme builder under that templates headline that's under the Elementor headline. And the theme builder lets you use the visual Elementor editor to make changes to design your entire website. So we can create a site part here, and then we can have every part of the site that is that site part look the same. So for example, let's go to single page, and then we're going to click add new in the top right. And then we're going to close out of this. And I'm just going to make a very quick and easy change on this page so we can see how it changes the pages that I apply it to. So let's just go ahead, and I went to page settings, and I'm going to go to style, and I'm going to just go ahead and give this, let's do like a light blue background. Right here is fine. We'll do that at full opacity. This isn't really light blue, but it'll work for now. And then we can go ahead and click the arrow in the top right, and we can go to display conditions. And this is when we're going to decide which pages this applies on for the entire website. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this as include. You can also choose exclude if you want, but I'm going to have it include pages. And instead of all, I'm going to go ahead and write contact here. And then I'm going to select that and then click save and close. And then I'm going to click the Elementor icon on the top left and exit to WordPress. And then hover over the website name in the top left and go to visit site. And then we can see that the background on the home page is still white. But if we go to the contact page, our background is now blue because it is applying that part of the theme builder. The theme builder is also where you can style your header and footer in Elementor. So we're heading back into the WordPress dashboard, and we're going to go to templates under Elementor, and then we're going to go back to theme builder. And then we are going to click header on the left. And then we are going to click this add new button in the top right again. And you can make your header from scratch if you'd like by using the editor. But if you have Elementor Pro, you can also pick one of these pre-made blocks and insert it automatically. So I'm going to do that here. I'm just going to select one of these and click insert. And then I'm going to click apply. And then I'm going to click publish in the top right, which is going to automatically bring us to the display conditions. And I'm going to click add condition, and I'm going to put this to include across the entire site. And then I'm going to click save and continue. Now I'm going to exit back to WordPress, hover over the name of my website in the top left, and then go to view site. And now we can see that we do have this new header up here. Now I want to talk a little bit about dynamic content. And I'm going to show you how to use dynamic content on this header we just made. So to get to this header really easy from this page, if you hover over Edit with Elementor, you're going to see all of the theme builder parts that have been applied to this page. So we can go ahead and just click this Elementor header right here, and it's going to automatically bring us back to that theme part. And then from here, we can edit the header. So dynamic content is a pro feature. And what it does is it allows you to take content from other parts of your WordPress site and then display it into your Elementor designs. This is really useful and especially important with the theme builder. Because, for example, if you were building a page part for the theme builder and you wanted to display the page title on every page, you could have it automatically grab that title from the page, just like this. So we're going to go ahead and go to the plus sign in the top left to add an element. And we're going to want to add this headline. So go ahead and take it and drag it into where it says drag widget here. And then we're going to click this little icon next to the title that says dynamic tags. And we are going to choose the post title. And then we are going to click publish in the top right. Go back to the WordPress dashboard. Hover over the site name in the top left and then click Visit Site. And then we can see that it says home here. I also realized that, oops, it looks like I didn't put in a navigation for the header. So let's add that in real quick. We can select this widget and we want the menu to be the header menu. So I'm choosing that here in layout that's under content. And then you can see that that's the correct menu that we made earlier. And then I'm going to click publish. Back to the WordPress dashboard, back to our website. And we can see that the dynamic content is working for that title. And then when we switch to the other pages, it will change to the names of each of those pages. And finally, the last thing I want to show you very quickly is responsive styles. So let's head back to that home page, and then we're going to click Edit with Elementor again. Now, when a website is responsive, it means that the design changes depending on the device that it is viewed on. Almost every website nowadays is responsive and changes depending on if the site is being viewed on a computer or being viewed on a tablet or being viewed on a phone. About 50% of internet traffic now is on mobile devices, so you should always make sure to check the responsive styles. I do have a full video that goes into this more in detail that I will link in the description below. But for now, so I can quickly show you, up top here, these icons are how you view how the site will look on different devices. And then from here, you can change the styles so they're different depending on which device it is. So you just have to select an element. And then when you edit it, you just have to make sure that there is an icon that's showing what device you're on. And then you can make changes that only affect that device. So for example, we can make this right aligned. And let's go ahead and make the typography super big just so we can see the difference. And these are the tablet changes here, remember. And then we're going to click Publish. And then we're going to click the drop down and go to View Page. And we're going to see that it is a normal size text here. But if we take that window out and make it smaller, you're going to see that it gets really big and then gets right aligned. And that's it. Now you know the basics of Elementor. If I was helpful to you, please don't forget to like and subscribe. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below. If you're building your own website, make sure to check the description to get your free download of my 9-step roadmap to DIY your first website, and it will walk you through everything you need to do to get your site live. Thank you so much for watching.